Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best part of your week. It's episode 8 of the Super2Bit Podcast. And tonight we have a very, very special topic for you guys. Something we often get asked when we're streaming, in the DMs, you name it. This topic comes up all the time. And that is, ladies and gents, can you make money as a full-time streamer in South Africa or even internationally in 2020? I'll tell you what, it's a hot little juicy topic, but before we kick it off, make sure you guys are following us on Spotify and Apple Music. That's right, the podcast has matured and grown on both those platforms, so please go give us a follow. Those links are in the description. Go check it out, ladies and gents. But with that said, I will be your pilot, the Double D, flying you through the danger zone tonight. And all pilots need their co-pilots, ladies and gents. With that said, let me introduce my goose. It's your boy, the Marksman.
Hey, what's happening, dude?
Can you believe you made it back again?
I know. I wait every day at my mailbox. I'm like, oh, I hope I get invited again.
Check your DMs frantically. Yeah. Yes, I'm on the podcast this week. How did I get so
I guess
lucky?
everyone else canceled once more.
But before we kick it off, David Brodio, first, welcome all the way from Cali, across the seas. Good to have you here, buddy. Hope all is well. Ruben van Eden, Ruth Brooks in the his, Trevor Chabe, as well as Lee Postapotamus creeping on in. Guys, trickle on in. Don't forget to give us a little share there. Even if we're not live at the time, every share, every like, every comment, we highly appreciate. But get those shares in the wild. This is a juicy one. Like I said, this is something we get asked all the time. And I can't wait to unpack this. Me and Neil, I mean, dude, we must talk. Like, I think 90% of the conversations we have offline, IRL, involve this.
We're giving away more secrets again tonight. This is a juicy one.
Neil, we give it away for free. We should be charging for these damn things.
Yeah. But we're nice guys. We're nice guys. Also, guys don't give us money, so we just got to give it away for free.
Don't spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So with that said, let's Jay Brown, welcome, buddy. Let's get into it. Dave, glasses are top tier. Thank you so much, buddy. They're the Ediths that Iron Man gave to I don't know. I think they're Iron Man's glasses, but they're very cheap. I can barely see a thing. With that said, let's dive into it, guys. And so basically, some of you guys may be streamers like yourself, like my boy Mr. Brodio. Go check him out. He's got a streaming channel as well. A lot of guys that watch us are streamers. Megan Perks, what's happening? But for those that maybe don't stream all the time, I'm going to ask Neil just to basically talk about the basic payment structure that currently exists on platforms such as Twitch and Facebook. So Neil, why don't you shed some light, buddy?
Yeah. So everyone, I think these days is like, hey, bro, I'm just going to start streaming, get paid to make money. That sounds pretty cool. And
free money.
Yeah, free money.
I want it.
So Twitch is obviously the big gorilla in the room. So people go onto Twitch. They start streaming, and there's a couple of ways you can make money. The first and most obvious way, you don't need any qualifications or anything like that, is getting donations. You set up a little donation account, connects to a PayPal, connects to different bank accounts depending on what country in the world you're in. And basically guys say, hey, I really like your stream. Here's $5. Great job. That then gets basically put into your account. You probably get $4.50 out of that $5. But Twitch, the big money maker, or the first level money maker, is obviously the subscriber tier. Once you become a Twitch affiliate, which I still am not, even though I've got over 1,000 followers on Twitch and I've been streaming for 3 years, but we'll get into that later. But once you make Twitch affiliate, then it enables you to do subscribing, where guys can say, hey, I really like your show. I will pay $5 a month to be subscribed to you. Now, as a watcher of Twitch, you can subscribe to as many channels as you want, and you can then pay those $5 to all of those creators. And Twitch, depending on what level you are, if you're an affiliate, the lowest level, you get 50% of that $5 sub, so you get $2.50. Twitch takes the other $2.50, and that's how it works. So every month you get paid that, and if guys keep resubbing and get more guys to sub, obviously you can start making a fairly decent amount of money. And that on top of the donations you may also be getting, then you're getting a little bit of cream on top as well, which helps you out. And then obviously if you get even bigger, and I can't remember if Twitch actually did enable some form of advertising revenue to affiliates, but they've spoken about it. I don't know if they actually know it is. The highest level, obviously, is your Twitch partner. When you become Twitch partner, you get an advertising button. So you're streaming 8 hours a day. You want to go to a toilet break. You hit that advert button. It'll play a 30-second ad, and you get a percentage of whatever Twitch makes on that ad, depending on how many viewers you have. And if you've got 2,000 viewers, you can make a couple of $1,000 per stream just doing those ads. So the money starts rolling in quite a lot if you're a big partner. And the secret there is big. You have to have those followers behind you. So those are basic things.
The key is the partner.
Yeah. There's also a whole bunch of other ways. You also get bits and that kind of thing, which is like Twitch's in-game or in-system currency, which works exactly like a donation. But again, I think Twitch takes 20 or 30% of a bit. I can't remember the exact numbers. And that works the same as a donation. 10,000 bits is $100. So you work it out that way. If you get 5 bits, you're getting 5 cents, basically.
Facebook has a similar system with their star system. It's also about, you divide it almost by like 10.511. So if you get 1,000 stars, dollar value out of that is probably $10.
$10, yeah. And then they take a cut, and like everyone takes a cut everywhere. So, but there's a million different ways. The whole problem is, though, can you make money? If you're getting how many people do you need watching your stream to be able to make money?
Yeah,
and Dave, maybe I'll throw it back to you. What do you?
A lot more than we have, Neil. A lot more than we have. Let's get straight to the point. Before we do that, welcome Daniel Shogun, named David TV. Go check him out. He's a legend in his own right. Piefly, what's cracking like? And welcome Mike Perks to the stream. David Birdie is saying, Facebook stars are lame. Bits are way better. I think the percentage payout on bits is actually better than stars. So you certainly are right there, Dave. But yes, Neil, so can it be done? We've been streaming for 3 years. Neil, you've been streaming for about 2 years. Like I think seriously. And Neil's a big sim racer guy. He's got a bit of a niche audience, but he's probably one of the best sim racers in the country. He's a talented driver.
I wouldn't say best. I'd say maybe with a lot of viewers, but I'm not the best.
Well,
people beat me on a regular basis.
You top 10. You top 10. Yeah. And there's no way. Are you quitting your job tomorrow, Neil?
No. I like my house, so I like electricity, so I can't do this full time.
No, not a chance. And I've been doing it for 3 years now, and there's no freaking way I could be doing this full time. That would be the dream. But and I think I actually think it is possible to do in South Africa or even the world if maybe you don't have expenses. Maybe you're still living at home. Maybe you're in varsity.
If you're a student
and you're a student and your expenses are low. I'm talking about what did you used to pay for when you were 20? I mean, what?
Well. Yeah? I used to get an allowance of about 2,500 rand when I was at varsity. So if you could make that much money streaming, or maybe make it like 4,000 rand now. I think prices have obviously gone up. So if you can make around 4,000 rand a month as a varsity student while playing games, and you somehow manage to maintain your studies, I think you're winning. But it's obviously a short-term thing. It would be like you wouldn't be able to live in a house, pay your own rent, pay for a car, pay for all the expenses that go with that, with 4,000 rand a month. Sure, people do, but like they're not gaming on high-end gaming PCs and paying for super fast internet at the same time.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think there's definitely like an age gap between the people that can go full time because their expenses. It's like it's patterns and pie graphs. Yes. Charts and pie graphs. Yes. If you're 20 and your expenses are 4,000 rand a month, there's a good chance you can stream full time and get all your beer money that way.
Yeah, you've got a lot of time on your hands. You've got your parents looking after the bills.
That's it. But if you're a day after 20, like myself,
Yeah.
maybe a day shy of 21, then your expenses are a lot higher. I mean, I'm deep into my 30s, and dude, expenses are real. Bond payments, car payments, middle plate, you name it, Neil, it piles up quickly. However, the passion has never been more on fire. So how do we find the balance between making enough money from streaming and not starving?
Yeah,
And
I think that's where it gets tricky. And like I think we're quite lucky. We started probably at the last amount of time you could start in this country.
yeah, with fiber rolling out.
With fiber rolling out, we already had a sort of built-in audience from Dave's previous days as a parody film creator. So we had a built-in audience that we've just grown and matured. But the whole point of this podcast is to say, okay, you're starting right now. Say you're 23 years old. Maybe, work's not looking that hard at the moment because of COVID. You think, hey, man, I'm looking at Ninja making the mega bucks. I'm looking at Shroud. I'm looking at
my
the
Lamborghini.
Doc. I'm looking at, I don't know, the Tourette syndrome lady. I can't remember what her name is.
Sweet Anya.
Sweet Anita, yeah. How do I get in? And is it worthwhile getting in now? So maybe let's jump into.
Well, before we do, and I love the way you're channeling this because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about myself. Lee Postabotomus, thank you for the 100 stars. So that's about 12 rand. If you have to do the calculation, but thank you so much. Much appreciated. Sean Volt, welcome. A quick little chime in here from my boy Brodio. Don't get me wrong, I love Facebook and I have been exclusively streaming to Facebook for 2+ years. I left Twitch long ago, even though it's the better platform. The reason why is because I see better, more personal viewership on Facebook. David, you're preaching to the converted. That's something we've been saying for so long. And you're not wrong, buddy. You really are on the money there. No pun intended. Stefan Reutz, what's up? Jessica Zill. I gotta stop saying people's surnames. Zillemans. Look at you, sexy people. Thank you so much, Jessica. Piefly payout on bits is a bit more. Welcome, guys. Like I said, get those shares in the wild. And as per your comment earlier, Neil, let's go in that direction right now. Let's take a left turn. Put on your indicator, buddy. Let's do it.
So,
what were you saying?
I could see your brain just shut down there. So I think the thing is, say you're 25 years old, 23 years old, you had a job, it's looking a little on shaky ground. You're like, hey, I'm going to start streaming now. You look at all these guys on Twitch, you're seeing guys in South Africa making a bit of money. What do you think you would need to get there? So if we just look at the basics, you'll need a gaming PC. So say that's already a sunken cost. You bought a gaming PC from a couple of years ago, and you need to buy yourself a webcam, which is harder than mining for gold at the moment. They are so rare. You need a decent-ish microphone, and you need a place to obviously stream it. Those things are all doable. And just say you were donated all of them, or you had pocket money, or you had some savings and you put all that money in. Then you start your streaming. When you start streaming, how many viewers are you going to get?
Maybe 2.
Yeah. And you probably have a better chance on Facebook, and we've spoken about this in previous podcasts. Facebook, you get that built-in reach mechanic, so you can just share it to all your mates. And if your mates hate you, they won't watch. And if your mates think you're funny and you're cool, they will watch. But if you go on Twitch, chances are you're going to get 0 viewers, and you're going to get 0 viewers for months and months.
Yeah.
The only way to really grow on Twitch is to become part of the community.
Is the pyramid scheme.
Is the pyramid scheme. Yeah, the community. And, watch other streamers and say, hey, bro, really like your stream. Why don't you come and check out my stream? And then basically your livelihood at that point in time is tied to a random person out on the interwebs potentially coming to watch your stream, then potentially liking you, then potentially talking about you, then bringing their viewers across to you. But
that's highly risky.
It's insane.
Risky. If you got bills to pay, Neil, how are you going to sleep at night?
So I read a stat that they said, and it was actually this Harris Heller guy who's really cool if you want to get into a whole bunch of stream news he's a great content creator. And cool stuff like that. There's some stats that say 5.8 million people per month stream on Twitch. There's 5.8 million individual pieces of content created by those many people. Of that many people, there's 25,000 or 40,000 partnered Twitch streamers in the entire world. And that sounds like, whoa, man, that's pretty sweet. If you take that number at face value right there, that's 0.007% of the entire audience is a partner. So those guys, you could maybe say are earning enough money
to live comfortably.
To live, not comfortably, just to live, basically. But, and the people have raised a good point. Not all of those partners are still active streamers. A lot of them have said, stuff this, I can't do this, I've got a better job now, I'm now an influencer, I'm now doing this, I'm now doing that. Because streaming it's a grind. It's 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
We're going to talk about the time value of money in just a second.
And then
welcome Silent Storm and Fox and House. Sorry to interject there. I got to welcome the people.
No worries.
And then Mohammed, welcome.
And then the problem with that is that maybe out of that 40,000 partnered streamers, maybe only 15 or 20,000 are still active. Of that 15 or 20,000, probably only about 5 to 10,000 are making big money, or like money where you're like, wow, I can buy a car with this money. Not even a good car, just a car. I can live in a nice house with this money. Not ninja earning $1 million a month kind of vibe. This is just normal, money that you need to live a normal, money that's good enough that you wouldn't go and do a normal full-time job. There's maybe 5 to 10,000 people in the entire world doing that. There are more accountants in South Africa than there are people doing that. There are more mechanics working in a auto repair shop earning far more money, probably in Gauteng, probably in wherever, that are earning more money than that. So it's insane.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's not easy. Like you said, the guys that are making enough, especially in South Africa, they're not just streaming for an hour twice a week. These guys are streaming 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And they may be pulling in, if I had to throw a number, there may be 20 grand a month, 15 to 20 grand a month.
That's on the high.
That's if they're doing well. And I'm talking about the guys that are doing well, 400 or 500 subs on Twitch type thing. Donies coming in on the regular. Call it 15 to 20 grand. That's what they're making South African rands. So dollar wise, that's Neil's going to chime in with the dollar number on that one. How many dollars is that, Neil?
It's about just over $1,000.
$1,000. Living costs.
$1,200 ish.
Yeah. So living costs in South Africa, obviously, it's a lot cheaper to live here when you look at dollars than it is overseas. But that's a slug. That's a slug. And when you're not streaming, you're spending the other time trying to promote your channel, your brand. You're watching other streamers. You're trying to get noticed. You're trying to come up with content ideas. You're trying to up the quality of your stream. So it's you're working basically on the weekend as well, just to make fine tweaks to just stand out. And there was a very good point made here in the chat from my boy Rachat van der Berg.
Or Richard, if you will.
Richard, if you want to make money from streaming, you need to have unique content that stands out from the rest. There's a lot of noise out there, and to be honest, numbers don't always equate to more money or better deals. Keep up the great work, Double D. Thank you, Richard. Dankie swear.
Well,
and he's very true.
I think a big problem at the moment is, and it's something where we are lucky. We have sponsors. We are a sponsored channel. We know people in the industry. We've been involved with the people in the industry, and a large part of the money that we create that keeps this whole show going comes from our sponsorships, not from making money off the platforms themselves. And because of that, sorry, I need to change got the wrong video going here. And because of that, that's one of our main income streams. But now, if you're a new streamer and you come on the scene and you say, hey, I'm getting average of 20 viewers a day on my stream.
I'm quitting my job. It's happening.
I'm quitting my job. Woo! I want some sponsorship. Guys are going to be like, sorry, dude, we're full up on sponsored content creators at the moment. And unless you are really out there, you're really good, you're really new, and you've got massive numbers compared to everyone else in the industry, that pool is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Because at the end of the day, if you go on Twitch, out of those 5.8 million people streaming every day, 99% of them are doing exactly the same thing. They're sitting in their room, they're playing games, saying, "Oh, hey, Steve. Hey, how you doing, bro? I'm having a good day."
45.
Yeah. I'm playing this game that you're playing too. It's cool, hey? Yeah, cool. And that worked in the old days with the ninjas, with the shrouds, with that. Those oaks were in it from the beginning, early, built up their numbers. They were like, oh, these guys are cool. Let's chat to them. I want to be part of that crew. I can't wait to have a game where I end up in the same server as Ninja.
I'm gonna get raided.
That's not going to happen anymore. You may still get that big raid, but what does it mean at the end of the day? That's like a drop in the ocean.
And I think the big problem with especially younger streamers like coming out of school, like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to be a streamer. I want to be like Ninja. They're saying screw the studies. Screw all of that. I'm just going to stream because that's my jam. And like to your point, Neil, to stand out is so difficult now. You literally have to do like ASMR noodle eating while playing the marble game. That's starting, by the way. I'll do it next week, 10 o'clock. Come join me.
But also, like, Ninja wasn't like, just sitting on his ass doing nothing, He worked hard. He spent money on production. He had people out in the industry finding him deals, getting involved with people, making streaming a thing. Like, you can hate Ninja or like Ninja or whatever. That guy made streaming like something that your mom will understand. If it wasn't for him and guys like him during that period, we wouldn't have streamers. The only problem is now everyone wants to be a streamer because they think, sweet, let's just play some games and have ourselves a good time. And does not work.
Thank you for the 50 stars. Thomas Bain, he's been dropping stars like crazy. Much appreciated, buddy. Really, you are a biscuit of a man.
And sorry if we do miss some stars. We are deep in the conversation.
We don't have alerts on the podcast, otherwise it gets distracting. But we do read them out. Danny Dupree, welcome. Thomas saying Dave Neil also needs glasses. He's got glasses.
No, but like cool glasses like yours.
At least you can see. I can't see anything.
I've actually I could try and wear my prescription sunglasses.
Put them on.
I'm not the cool guy on the stream. That's you. I'm the knowledgeable one. I'm the Gandalf.
This is true. You can do the man.
Frodo / Aragorn-ish.
Slightly inebriated Frodo that ran away with the ring off the path and got lost.
Pretty much. Basically Gollum is what you're saying.
Basically. Like a more attractive Gollum. JL Fitzer, how does one become part of the Level Up program if South Africa is not an eligible country? So you're absolutely correct. SA isn't eligible at the moment, but luckily when Chloe was in the US for like 6 months, she streamed from there, and that's how we unlocked it. Otherwise, I don't know how to do it. You can't use VPN. Trust me, we tried that. There's no way to do it outside of being in a foreign country that has it as one of the countries eligible and streaming from there for, I think, at least a month or like 2 weeks or something. It's not the easiest thing to do, but once you do it, it's well worth it. I guess that's another hindrance. If you're in South Africa, you obviously go to Twitch because you can't do Facebook stars.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
And the problem is, like, Facebook stars will come here eventually. There's no real reason why they aren't here. It's just
eventually
how they roll things out in the world. And also, I think the problem, like, why we still have them and we haven't been banned or anything like that is because we are one of the bigger channels in South Africa, and we do have a very global reach as well. So
I hope that's the reason. Touch wood.
We'll see what happens.
Touch wood. Lee Postomotimus, but I think it all comes down to hard work and dedication and the love of streaming. It absolutely does. And you have to have a streaming personality. That's also very true. Trevor, welcome. Dave is the cool shooter guy. Neil's the cool racing guy. That's it. That's exactly it. But it does come down to trying to stand out in the crowd. And that's something that myself and Neil scratch our heads about almost on a nightly basis. And it's not easy. But one way to stand out is obviously to be live 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Hopefully someone.
Well, that used to be the way, but now everyone else is live 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
It's risky. It's super risky. You could do that. You can, and I've seen it. Me and Neil have seen streamers come and go, like the seasons. We really have. Guys come in. They're doing 5 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes even more than that, and they burn out. Obviously, I think financially it hits them pretty hard. And they've got to get a job. And I've seen it. I've seen guys say, listen, I got to get a job. And, some guys will even just stream them working, doing their job because they love streaming so much, but they have to work.
Or they're like, well, I may as well just be live. And, but then it's not good content.
It's not good content, yeah. So it's a very tricky thing to get in now in 2020 because it's so saturated. Unless you have that hook, Guys like the Doc, he's got obviously, the Doc has the personality, the production value. He stands out. Guys like Shroud, he's just a good player. You can learn a lot from Shroud because he's just he's a ninja. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But unless you have a standout skill like that, you really have to dig deep to stand out and gain the attention of sponsors. And my boy, Mr. Brody, actually had a good comment. He talked about, not to hijack, but to interject. Do mention that if you have a pre-existing audience of any kind, you will get viewers. But as for Twitch, you are wholly correct unless you are likely, like previously, celebrity level status with several 100,000 followers or more, that it might not take you so long. Yeah, so obviously if you have an established following, that's definitely one way to grow. And that's something we always encourage to new streamers, is to make sure that you're not just streaming to Twitch. You got your Instagram going, you got your Facebook going, you got your YouTube going, and you're just funneling everyone from those different platforms to your preferred platform, us being Facebook. We try to funnel guys here as best we can, but you definitely got to use that funnel, because if you're just doing Twitch and just using Twitch, wow, you will go nowhere.
Yeah, and also like you gotta look at the ocean that you're jumping into these days. Like, so 5 years ago, I think Twitch started about 8 or 10 years ago. It started like almost, I think, in the Xbox 360 days. But it was horrible then. You didn't have the technology to stream. You didn't have decent capture cards. Everything was like slow and bad quality. And most people did Let's Plays on YouTube. They just did a local capture, edited it, uploaded it. And then guys were like, well, my PC's kind of fast enough now. Let me do a live stream direct, warts and all, which is what people always like. But that was 8 years ago, and then you were competing maybe against 20 to 30,000 other people. And that sounds like a huge number, but chances were pretty good. If you can make the top 1,000 people, you're in there. And that's the Ninjas, that's the Shrouds, that's all of those
guys. The guys that got in early enough, 2011, 2012.
But now, dude, 5.8 million people, that is your audience. Like, so imagine 40,000 people in the stadium shouting for your favorite rugby player. And you're all screaming his name and saying, look at me, Skulk, look at me, Faf. Like, what are your chances of him hearing you and looking at you? 0. And that's 40,000 people. Now multiply that by however many to 5.8 million people. And you're like, you have better chances playing the lottery, actually.
It's literally almost like lottery stats.
And even then, you'll earn a couple of $1,000 maybe a month.
That's the thing. And the problem is, like, back then, everyone didn't have production quality. Everyone had like maybe terrible cameras or terrible sound. They were just kind of sitting with their bed in the background and their cat lying on the bed. Now guys have decent cams. They've got like good lighting setups. Everyone looks, the production of your average to below average stream is really high. The bar's been set really high. So coming in, you've straight away got to meet that. If not, try up your production, which all costs money. It all it's all a risk. The game room, I think the hard thing is streaming at the right time of the day. For the majority of your audience, is still having to do normal jobs. That's something interesting, because when I started streaming at 10 o'clock in the morning, South African time. Well, I guess it applies to anywhere in the world. And a lot of people were at work, absolutely, 10 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. I obviously was trying to find my way. This was like 3 years ago, so I didn't have a job, so to speak. I do some other things. For those that have always wondered, I do have another business that is literally the opposite of this.
What are you talking about there, Dave?
No, I don't know about
what's that other business?
No. But
is it an OnlyFans account?
Yes, I'll link it in the description. Another business that I own, I do odd jobs and freelance work as well, just to keep the money in. I would say streaming brings in maybe 40% of my income. So, and that's with sponsors, that's with like everything that we do. So it's certainly, I could never rely on it. But sorry, Game Room, to get back, my boy Brown Sauce, to get back to your question. I streamed at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I had some of the biggest views out of anyone in the country streaming at that time. And people were like, why do you stream at 10 o'clock? And the thing is, no one else was streaming. Everyone was at work, but everyone was watching at work. Everyone was like dicking around, watching on their phones. And eventually people caught on. Now, now you go on Twitch at 10 o'clock in the morning, everyone streams. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Back 3 years ago.
But except,
I was like, one of the ones.
Yeah, like if you look, what's tonight? Wednesday night. Wednesday night's pretty busy. Thursday night's Twitch, South African time. It's packed. packed. And even then, you're just like, what's going on? But Tuesday nights, there's maybe 3 streamers on at any time.
Yeah.
And those 3 streamers, but they get 0 views anyway. So, like, people are weird. Thursday nights, people want to watch. 10 o'clock in the morning, people want to watch. Friday mornings, obviously, like, everyone likes to watch streams on Friday mornings. And,
Friday
and Monday nights, it's weird. There's certain times that you'll definitely get big views, but it's different for every country, type of content you play, like anything.
Type of game you're playing. I've even considered like going live at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night and streaming for like 2 hours. Just to try to tap into a foreign audience. I've asked Neil. I've said, listen, I'm going to play Age of Empires.
I'm still waiting for the Age of Empires stream.
I need my special copy that you got for me because you can't even get that anymore.
Yeah.
And literally played that at 12 o'clock at night and just try grow over in Asia where it's very popular and even in the US. And I haven't done it because I'm way too lazy and I love my sleep. But that's not a bad way to break into a foreign audience. You know what I'm saying? Stand out.
And you could become huge in a foreign audience, but it's so weird. Like it is
weird.
It's like
it's a lot of luck involved.
I would say unless you already have something going on, you have a cool Twitter account that's got 200 followers that really love your stuff. You got an Instagram account with 150 followers. You got a Facebook account with maybe 1,000 friends. Go for it. But if you're a shy guy with, 20 or so friends, you're not big into the social media, you're not big into anything. Basically me, because
I was about to say.
Basically me. Like I would not start streaming now. Like I think even with our setup, I would be hesitant to start streaming now because the chances of you standing out from the crowd is so low.
So then what would you say? What would your advice be?
I'd say you need to figure out, I don't know, like I'm almost thinking of it as comedians, right? Like everyone thinks they're funny, everyone thinks, oh, let me just tell jokes for a living. But we all know like being a comedian is probably one of the hardest, most difficult things you could do. But if you're funny, you are funny. And then you go out there and you can start doing open mic nights. You start working yourself up. You build a little Facebook following, Instagram following, whatever it might be. Streaming is the same thing. Make sure you have something like amazing video quality, an amazing voice. Maybe you have like the world's deepest voice that like shakes the walls. I wish. Yeah.
There we go.
But like have something that someone on the street would walk up to you and say, dude, that is super cool. Even if it's that one person, I think that's definitely something.
If you can play guitar.
If you can play guitar, if you can sing, if you can draw pictures, if you can play games really well, you are in with a shout. But if you can play games really well and you don't speak and you have a dark like room and you don't show your face and you're not very communicative to people, don't do it. If you think you have something, think of it as America's Got Talent or what's the singing thing?
The Voice.
Not The Voice. What was the original one? Idols.
American Idols.
Yeah, American Idols. Think of it as American Idols in your room right away. You will know very quickly if you have something, if that 0 changes to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if it's only 5, stick with it. Stick with it if you're enjoying it. It can get your confidence up. Definitely, it's like basically public speaking. You can get comfortable in front of a camera. But like, you got to realize at some point that maybe it's not sustainable. If you're spending...
Neil says all this, but we've seen people that are literally sitting in dark rooms with no personality, pulling in like hundreds of views and donies. And we're just like...
Yeah, but we can get into the. Well, let's take some questions. I see guys are chatting up a storm here.
Game room. So, what's your best advice for a new streamer like myself? Is it just go where your audience is there, or just keep your routine the same each week and hope for the best? So, if you're talking about which time to stream, I'd say definitely experiment. Depending where you are in the world and what games you play. I know the fact my boy Brown Source plays a lot of PUBG. Dude, PUBG is huge in Asia, So when are the guys awake in Asia? Check the clock. Maybe only go live in the evening when they're awake. Another thing that helps is obviously being a part of those big PUBG mobile and PUBG groups on Facebook. If you stream to Facebook, and kind of being part of that community and sharing your stream there as well at the right time, maybe 10 o'clock at night. I think for you, Game Room, that's key. It's about the game and the audience, and it's not that easy, because then you end up playing games you might not really like just to get the audience, and that's a conversation on its own. Do I play a game I despise, like Fortnite?
No, don't do that. Don't do it.
Fortnite.
Play a game that you actually like playing. Otherwise, you will die. You will.
Well,
we have seen guys crumble live on stream over weeks playing games they hate.
I've seen guys lose their soul.
Oh,
literally, their soul left their body through their eyes.
Never play a game you don't like.
Because they got good views, and then you got to weigh it up.
Dave tries to sell me on playing games I don't want to play all the time.
Do I just build up an audience? But the problem with that is if you're playing a game that you despise like Fortnite and you build up, and I've seen this happen as well, and you build up a big audience and whoa, look at me, I'm 100 viewers, yeah. And then you're like, but I want to put a gun in my mouth. I'm not going to play Fortnite anymore. I'm going to play Call of Duty. Then that your audience is like, where's Fortnite? Goodbye, cheers, bye, boom, gone. And no one watches anyway,
But you don't want to kill yourself, so
No, exactly. So it's a double-edged sword, because you can get the audience, but they only like that crappy game that you despise playing. So to Neil's point, you got to play what you love, because at the end of the day, they'll come for you. They'll come to watch you, not the game. That's the hidden meaning, isn't it, Neil?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you should get to the point, and I think you kind of at that point now, Dave, where you can play any game. Guys will come and watch you because
hopefully they're still
not thousands of guys, unfortunately, but you've got a core audience that enjoys you, not what you're playing.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, to grow your audience, Warzone's a good choice, but we've had some of the best streams when you play Ghost of Tsushima or
single player games,
Resident Evil streams did really, really well. They do a lot better than we think they're going to do. But, but some games also, if you play freaking Jurassic Park and have to watch you put a fence in the wrong place for 3 hours.
Trigger the OCD.
Yeah. But it doesn't, and it's a pity, because those games actually from a streaming point of view are probably the most interesting, because anything where you're creating something, it should actually be far more engaging for a lot longer time than playing Warzone over and over and over again.
With everyone else and the entire planet playing Warzone, And it's good to experiment. It's good to try games that are, my Steam library has 200 games, 200, maybe 250 games, of which I only play 2, maybe experiment, maybe the audience for a game on the bottom of that Steam list is not big, but, maybe it's twice the size of, your Call of Duty audience. Maybe there's only 50 people in the world watching that game. Maybe they're going to be watching you, because you're the only guy streaming that specific game.
I've had that with some racing streams. If you get it right, there's a big Formula 1 race on and you're playing a Formula 1 game straight afterwards, you get massive views. But you can't run your stream schedule according to that kind of stuff. It gets crazy after a while.
It does. You're gonna beat yourself up. Rowan Rogers saying, being charming and charismatic is your natural way. It's what sells me in anyone. Rowan, well, you're in good hands, buddy. Thank you. Good to have you here. Wait for my noodle ASMRs. It's gonna blow your mind. David Brody, quickly take note of the dudes who spend, and this is also true, spend the most time in your stream. But as they are currently saying, experiment. Don't pigeonhole yourself just to 10 guys that are always hanging out on your stream. Cater to everyone's schedule, but recognize when the same people are hanging out. Obviously, take care of your boys. My guys like Mr. Brody himself, my boy Raul, Thomas Benjamin. I could go on and on and on. There's so many guys that come back on the regular, and those are the dudes that I would almost consider friends. I'd want to go have a beer with those guys.
Yeah.
You got to look after those guys. You got to pull them into games, jam Call of Duty with them. Make sure that you that you're chatting to them, because if you ignore the people that come back to your stream on a constant basis, not only is that a dick move, but they're certainly not going to keep coming back.
But also I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here, and I'm saying your close followers will follow you anywhere, and that's more of a compliment to them than anything else. But if you start streaming at 12 o'clock at night, those 5 guys will watch your 12 o'clock at night stream. I think when we did that stream in Los Angeles at 3 o'clock in the morning, South African time, we had like 3 or 4 of the close guys. Yeah, Raul was there. And like, that is amazing. But also, you have to look at expanding your audience. And especially at the beginning, as you said, experiment with times. Find that time, find that niche game. Play the popular games 3 or 4 days a week or 3 days a week. But experiment 1 day a week and just do something crazy. Do something you find fun.
Yeah, that's it. I think we hit the nail on the head earlier when we said, if you've got that skill, is it playing a guitar? Is it doing magic? Sleight of hand? Whatever that is, use it. That is a feather in your cap, and it can help you stand out. I don't have many skills, Neil. Well, certainly not skills I could use on a stream, without killing anyone, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. I try my best, and I've often thought about maybe I do burpees. I do a lot of burpees because they suck and people love watching me in pain. And I think people enjoy watching me suffer, and that's something that I play into because Neil certainly does. So if he likes it, then I hope other people like it as well. But I do burpees. That's my hook. I do, and they suck. I did 250 on a stream once, and I almost soiled myself. But everyone loved it,
Worth it.
It was worth it. So you need that hook. You need to find out what that is, and you need to just do some research, and even if need be, learn it. Depending how badly you want to break out in streaming, learn a new skill, whether it be magic, whether it be, I don't know. What's your special skill, Neil?
My deep voice. That's about it.
It's a good skill.
I'll read comments for money. I think that's what I'm going to go do from now on.
I think people should pay you to just do like little announcements, like read a little slogan. Yeah. Dave literally sweats sexiness out of his pores. Thank you so much, David Brody. That is a skill. I do sweat a lot. So I see
a lot of questions still asking about like the level up program, and I think this is also what guys get fixated on. It's like, how do I get to that making money level where money comes in? And the first thing you got to do, don't worry about that. Worry about building your audience. To unlock level up is much harder than unlocking affiliate on Twitch. Affiliate on Twitch, you have to average 3 viewers over 60 days and have 75 followers, I think, is the requirement.
On an average, yeah.
Pretty straightforward to do if you stream consistently and you get 3 mates to basically just watch you for 3 months. Level up program, you need 10,000 followers on Twitch. On Facebook, which worry about that before worrying about. By the time you get your 10,000 followers, it'll be no, I think it's 10,000.
10,000, okay.
Yeah. And once you've got that, then you don't even need to really worry about the level up program. Like, sponsors will come and find you. Guys will want to come and work with you, which is nice.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But we never plan on getting the level up program. We were just lucky, thanks to Chloe being in the right place at the right time.
Thanks, Chloe.
But it's all you have to do is focus on it and set yourself goals. That's what we do. We said, I think last year our goal was we are hitting 10,000 followers. 10,000. And we only hit it in March this year, thanks to the lockdown. But since we hit that, we've reset our goals. We've got 2,000 in about 3 or 4 months, where it took us almost a year to get 2,000 followers last year. And every time we now trying to actually unlock real advertising on Facebook, which is stupendously difficult. But we're going to get there eventually. And we basically have to... it's kind of annoying because you have to play to their game. You have to kind of create content that Facebook wants you to create, where you can't just create whatever you want or whatever your viewers may enjoy. If it doesn't reach their requirement for advertising, then we shouldn't actually be creating that content. But, you got to balance all these things up.
And it's some guys have said it before. They're like, I've started streaming. I never fathomed how much work was involved. It is so much work, guys. But like, if it's something you're passionate about, then you'll never work a day in your life. That's what they say. Yeah. Peter Al Mullman saying movie announcement. Neil, I think what you're going to do from now on is movie announcements or even just readouts. But guys can do a readout. Just type your readout to do in your voice.
In fact, a world.
There we go. Do one right now. Someone type him a quick. Just a quick paragraph.
Where crimes are solved backwards, which is basically the same as they are right now.
Tenet.
Two guys travel through time, solve a crime. Tenet.
Let's talk about Bill and Ted.
Yeah,
There we go. That deserves some stars right there. That's going to be your new star plague, Neil. That's a fact, buddy. You got a gift. The game room. I think Dave is right. Trying to find your thing for people to donate money or send stars is a massive for you to make money out of your streams. Absolutely, that certainly helps. Without a doubt. Thank you, Raul, for the 10 stars, 11-week streak, you biscuit.
Thank you, Raul.
Jeez.
But also, like, the thing is, like, with Dave, I think you're getting a fair exchange with stars. You give him, what's your stars now, 750 or whatever? You cheeky guy had to up the price. But at least you doing effort and work and making guys have a laugh for the stars you get.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of, hey, guys, I need to buy a new camera. Donate me stars, you know?
Yeah.
That's why we're doing the whole big giveaway as well, because we actually want to give you guys something you hopefully have never seen before via streaming.
Which is a nice twist. We're saying we're trying, give us this amount of money, and guess what? We're going to do a big giveaway where one of you guys is going to win.
Yeah.
We're not going to buy a new tripod or a new camera light. We're going to give back to you guys. And I know not everyone can do that because they need the camera light or they need the tripod. But we're trying to turn it on its head and actually give back to you guys. And I think we're 22% in of our goal.
Yeah, we're getting there. Like, I think we could hit it if we carry on the way we're going, which would be really cool.
It all comes down to you guys. So big ups to you guys for throwing stars and supporting and sharing, and like it really does. And that's what you guys don't understand. Each like and each comment goes a long way because that's how the Facebook algorithm works. So if you get a like and a comment, Facebook's like, what's going on here? This is interesting.
And YouTube's exactly the same as well.
And more people see this guy. He's getting likes and comments. So when we say that, we're not just saying, like, it means so much to help the stream out. You guys have no idea. So every like, every comment just takes a second. Look at me shilling. I try to turn the shill on.
But that's the thing. This is what streaming is not free. We can't sit here for 8 hours a day. We can't put on all these shows and not get money back for it because, it would be madness. So
lockdown deals are expensive.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah. You have to. Unfortunately, part of the game is doing the ways to make guys give you money or make guys enjoy the stream in a way that they don't feel ripped off and you don't feel like you're ripping them off either. It is a business at the end of the day, and you have to run it like a business. If you're just streaming for fun with your mates and you just want to have a good time, maybe get a stream online with Ninja and get raided like 1,000-person raid, go for it. But to do that, you have to do millions of hours. You have to put in all the effort. You have to do everything. And after a while, you're like, am I actually spending my time correctly?
Yeah.
Or just dye your hair or red like old Ninja here or
like
blue.
Ninja, yeah. Some local guys have tried that and didn't really work out for them. But speaking of local, Neil, do you think there's any guys in South Africa that are full-time streaming? And I'm not talking about content creating. I'm not talking about anything on the side or even doing sponsored content. I'm talking about purely just streaming and getting their money from subs, bits, and donies.
I think we're getting to the point where there may be a couple of guys. I see a couple of guys now. They're quite new on the scene. They've only been around for a couple of months that are possibly getting to that point where they are making enough money, making them more than 10,000 Rand a month just from subs, donations, bits,
like 20,000
that kind of
Rand
thing.
a month.
Yeah. But again, like, they're getting there, and they would be much better off.
We can count them on one hand. Yeah. We know them by name.
And if they're not exploiting their other influencer avenues or content creator avenues, they really should be. They need to be, because it's so fickle. It's so short-lived. The worst thing about a sub, say you're getting 500 subs a month. You say, cool, I'm making 15 to 20,000 Rand a month. This is cool. I can live like this. The problem is, you don't know next month if you're going to have 500 subs. Those subs are only for 1 month at a time.
Subs 1 month, yeah.
Guys can gift you subs. So they'll say, here's 150 subs I'm gifting you. That just means they're giving you $5 or $2.50 times one. It's basically a donation, just in a different form. And it's actually kind of a cheat because it boosts your subscriber numbers artificially. And the problem is this month you got 500. Like, cool, I'm going to pay my cell phone, my car, my insurance, my internet. That's 10,000 out of the 15,000. Next month you get 250 subs. Now you in the negative. Now you've only got 7,500 rand to pay with. You've just spent 10,000 rand on your expenses. Like, you always at the beck and call of these subs. You're always chasing subs, and it's frightening and horrible.
The second you don't stream for a day because you're actually trying to
you can't take a month break.
Some food, then you lose subs. Guys are like, oh, I didn't stream today, or like I'm not going to sub again, and then your subs go down. And like you said, it's very uncertain. Like whether you're going to have 500 subs this month or 350 subs the next month, that's a big difference. That's thousands and thousands of rands difference, and it's hard to like do a budget on that. Peter L saying, why don't you do some tournaments with entry fees and pool prizes? We've got some stuff up the sleeve that we can't share with you guys just yet, but I think you're gonna like it.
And also, and also tournaments, like, again, charging people for tournament entry fees. You're gonna limit the amount of people who enter your tournament, and B,
also a lot of work.
It's a ton of work to try and get a payment system where you guys can pay us safely. Is more expensive than just doing it for free. So it's so tricky, like, what to do. And it's much easier to get in on with a sponsor and get them to promote prizes and do that stuff.
Yeah,
like
trust me.
Yeah, I've been doing all the Solidarity e-racing stuff, and it's so complicated and so expensive.
It's a lot of work, dude.
And also, you have to make sure you are so above the board and like so legit with everything. Because if you taking people's money and not giving them what they want, it's a huge problem.
And it's not small money either.
No,
like
money.
It's big. You guys were dealing with some decent cash. But Hamid, when you guys bring Chloe to the podcast, hopefully soon. I know Chloe is keen to join us on the podcast. I know she's got some laptop issues at the moment, but in the next week or two, we're definitely going to get Chloe on. Welcome to Triple T. The game room says, and I can't enter because you don't do it in my country. We do some digital game codes sometimes. You got to keep your peepers open. PUBG had better days for COD or Bloons BT battles. Guys are just mentioning some games I think they want to see in tournament. Ninja went on Family Feud back in 2015. Really? Is that it? Yeah, I think that was his.
That was when he was going on all those shows and like all this stuff.
Yeah, like he built up his profile in a big way, and like we said, that's all part of it.
And like, he doesn't have to work anymore, dude. He's got so much money, he really doesn't have to work. He can do whatever he wants to do for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
like,
but that's literally a lottery statistic. Ninja, Shroud, the Duck. How much did the Duck and Shroud pull out of 2019?
Oh, Shroud made at least $10 million just from that mixer agreement, plus. The doc made over $50,000 in YouTube donations in that 24-hour blank screen stream he did before he went live for the first time.
He was sleeping and making.
And he made $50,000. So we are not going to make that money. No one watching the stream, I don't think. It's very unlikely anyone will ever make that kind of money. But the problem is that's what pulls people in, and that's what gets them excited about it. And it's amazing, but you have more chance of becoming an actor on Seven Alarm if it was still going, and making a good salary that way than you are of making a living off being a Twitch streamer. That is the reality, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's lottery numbers, and to go back to what we were saying earlier, I just worry that so many people are quitting their jobs that are like leaving, like maybe even dropping out of varsity or high school because they're like, I'm going to be a ninja. I'm going to be a Shroud. And I think a lot of dudes are waking up to the reality like, holy crap, why is no one watching? Like,
the problem is guys do that after they've spent all the money buying all the streaming equipment, quitting their job, streaming for 8 to 10 hours a day. And then they're like, wait, why is no one watching? I thought, where's the money? Why is it not rolling in? And it's only going to get harder, which is also like quite sad.
It's literally by the month. It only gets harder, and guys just take it up. They just take up like the level of production, and it just gets more and more saturated. And that's why some of the best advice I can give to you guys is hone that special skill, find out what it is, whatever it is, learn it if you have to, but make yourself unique, make your show, and see it as a show. we've always seen when I walk I walk onto my stream to a fake applause. I mean, Neil, like who else does that?
Only you.
Because it's a show.
Yeah.
I'm putting on a show. I'm not here to play some Fortnite. Yeah, I got some time to kill before my pie in the oven's cooked. I'm gonna play. I put on a show every time.
And then
I give
his
110%, and then I eat my pie that I left in the oven that probably burnt. And I put on a show, and you have to see it like that. How am I going to improve my show? How am I going to just do the best, entertain to the best of my abilities?
Indeed,
so to speak. But final thoughts, Neil. I can see he's got a pie in the oven that he can smell. He's getting hungry.
I'm getting hungry.
We could talk about this for a long time. I could stretch it out, but I know you got dinner in the oven.
I read somewhere that podcasts under an hour are what you want. So
that's wrong, Neil. That's wrong. We'll keep it going for another.
But no, I think it's pretty basic advice. If you want to stream, give it a bash. Sign up for Twitch, set up a camera, have a little bit of fun, see if you get guys watching, see if it's sustainable for a month or two. Don't do it full time. Do it part time at night. See what works for you. If you've got something unique, if it does, carry on with it. Go for your dream. If it doesn't, go back and get a normal job. This stuff is not easy.
It's not easy, and it's not for the faint-hearted. Rejection, low numbers, single-digit views.
Dude,
Woo!
Bad streaming numbers we've both had it, and you're just like, why do I even do this?
You got to have thick skin, guys. When you're on a stream and there's 4 people or 3 people watching, and you're like, you're putting on your best, your number one outfit, and it's just and that happens to everyone. It's just something that you just have to push through. And it's the same with Hollywood actors, and they go to auditions, and they never get a job until they get that one job, and boom, they're in Star Wars, and they're ruining the Disney friend. Disney.
But the only difference with that as well is you usually can have a second job while you're trying to get those roles. You working in the coffee shops, you doing IT support, you on the call center. So just keep in mind, keep the lights on, keep paying those bills however you can. When you have time to stream, don't say I'm doing this 8 hours a day. Don't worry about the kids; they'll be fine when I make the millions. That's not a good plan.
Be smart about it, and keep those. And that's what I've always done. I've always had 2 or 3 or even 4 revenue streams, and trying to plate spin. That's a nightmare. But try keep the revenue streams going, so that if one falls over, like the streaming, at least you got a backup to pay the bills at the end of the month. Tian also says, no guys, wear eye patches and be the one-eyed gang. People look at weird streamers or something. People like streamers that peacock. Peacocking is basically the term for guys that wear the funny hats, guys that wear a lot of makeup. That's also a way to stand out in the crowd. It's not a bad idea. Peacocking. Why do you think I wear the glasses? I cannot see my hand in front of my face. I miss almost every shot in Call of Duty, but damn, I look good. I look so damn good.
For sure.
So that's why I wear them, just to try to catch someone's eye in the news feed. But there we have it. Final thoughts from myself. We actually did a podcast that, for new streamers, guys that are getting into streaming. I think it was podcast 4 or 5.
Yeah.
A lot of good tips in there. If you guys are getting into streaming, go check out that podcast.
Which platforms to go on, what you should be looking at.
Which platforms you should be streaming to. And just, stuff like we've mentioned tonight about how to fully utilize your other social platforms and funnel audiences to your primary channels.
Yeah.
But I want to... With that said, I want to say a big ups to you guys for joining us. We do have links in the description to both the Spotify and the Apple Music podcasts. Go give us a subby over there.
Give us a review as well.
Yeah, or just give us a follow on the Facebook. If you like watching on Facebook, we're streaming to Twitch as well. My
and
Twitch,
YouTube.
Dangerous Dave Live, and YouTube.
We stream everywhere.
We're spreading that butter thinly on the bread as best we can. But we pick your poison. Go check it out. Daniel, welcome. Do you do this full time? Woo! I think you need to rewind about an hour back into the podcast. But no, to answer your question, short story is no. I don't. It takes up a lot of my time, but I certainly don't do it full time. Mohammed, thank you so much. Gabriel, for me as a new streamer, I love it when I get viewers And the fact that people want to donate, etc., is amazing. Now, we'll never make a career out of it, but the small amounts here and there help a lot. Well, that's all that matters, buddy. As long as you enjoy it and you're having fun, isn't that kind of like a payment in a way? You're just like having a good old time.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of joy out of it.
Keep that feel though, man. Because
I was going to donate you $100, but I'm not going to anymore because you don't need it. You're happy, bro.
Oh, that's me.
Someone else.
This is mean.
But yeah, guys, we really appreciate you joining the podcast. David Brody, I got your message. I'll chat to you afterwards, buddy. Matthew Snelling, good to see you. Mike Perks, love the shades, Dave. Thank you, Mike. I'm going to get you a pair for your next birthday. I think they'll suit you really well. With that said, guys, that is episode 8 done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, even if we're not live, still pop us a share there on Facebook or a comment or a like. We appreciate your support. We love you guys. We wouldn't even be sitting here doing the podcast if it wasn't for your support. So really, really, really do appreciate it. Neil, you're not streaming
No stream tonight. No. So Chloe hopefully will be streaming tomorrow morning and then just playing Jimmy. And then the Double D on Friday.
Yes, but we do have some exciting stuff happening soon with Rainbow Six. As you guys know, they announced their new operator. It has been officially announced. It's Sam Fisher as the new Rainbow Six operator. So we actually playing it. I'm playing it in about 20 minutes. We've got early access to the game with a few other guys in South Africa. So I'm going to go play with some Sam Fisher. How often do you get to say that?
Yeah.
But much love to you guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yes. We'll catch you tomorrow and Friday. Keep the love strong. Peace out.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Next time. Stay sexy, guys. Take it easy.